So, have you understood the question first of all? So, here three particles, each one is having a mass of m, they are carrying a charge of q. Clear ma? They are suspended from a common point by insulating strings of length L. So, if masses are in equilibrium located at the corners of an equilateral triangle of side A, then calculate a charge q on each particle. That is the question. Clear ma? So let us see what is the meaning of this one. It means that, clear ma? So from a common point, so three particles are being suspended like this. Clear? And they are located at the corners of an equilateral triangle like this. So it means that, so I can draw like this. So for example, this is the arrangement of these particles. So particles are arranged at the edges of an equilateral triangle. Clear ma? So particles are arranged like this. So this is one mass here m, and this is another mass m, and this is another mass of m. Are you able to understand ma? Okay. So then what is the length of each string given? So masses are m here, m, m and m. Clear ma? And length of each string is L. It is also given that this equilateral triangle, it has a side of A. It means this side is equal to A. But length of this strings, it is equal to L. Clear? And it is also given that L is much greater when compared to A. That is, when compared to side of this triangle, length of this string is very large. That is another information which is given. Okay. Then what he is asking, so what is the charge possessed by mass or charge possessed by each mass? That is the question. Clear now? So if they are in equilibrium, then what is the condition? If charges are in equilibrium, it means again net forces are zero. That is the meaning of this one. No? Now first of all, can you say how many forces are acting here? Clear? For example, if you take one particle, for example, weight will be acting in downwards direction. Clear ma? So this is a body of mass m, no? So its weight mg will be acting exactly in downwards direction. This is one force. Weight mg of the particle is acting exactly in downwards direction. Are you able to understand ma? And similarly, tension also will be acting. So this is one more force which is called as tension. Still any other forces? Weight of the body, tension, force of repulsion also will be there, no? And force of repulsion will be in which direction? Sima. All of them are positive charges only, no? This is also plus q, this is also plus q, and this is also plus q. Clear ma? So for example, if I take force acting on one particle, so this particle will be repelled by this charge in this direction. That's all. Similarly, this particle will be repelled in this direction again with the help of this force. Clear? And if this force is F1 and if this force is F2, can I say F1 magnitude is equals to magnitude of F2? Can I say like this? Definitely I can say no. How I can say they are equal? Because the charges are equal, distances are also equal. Clear na? Then what is the angle between them? Angle between them is 60 degrees because he gave it is an equilateral triangle, no? So if this angle is 60, definitely this angle is also 60. Clear ma? So if two equal forces are acting at an angle of 60 degrees, then what is the resultant force I can write? Resultant force is how much? Already we have studied one relation in the last classes. So if two forces are acting, two equal forces are acting at an angle of theta, then resultant force can be written as 2f cos theta divided by 2. That is the relation. And theta value is how much? 60 degrees. So this relation I can write it as fr is equals to 2f cos 30 degrees. So resultant force is equals to 2f cos 30 value is how much? Root 3 divided by 2. So 2 and 2 gets cancelled. So resultant force is equals to root 3 into f. Clear? And F value, how can I calculate? F is the force of repulsion between these two charges which are separated by a distance of A. That's all. No? So therefore, resultant force can be written as root 3 into F can be written as 1 by 4 pi E naught Q1 Q2 divided by R square. Q1, Q2 is nothing but both the charges are Q only, no? So Q square divided by A square. So let it be our equation number 1. So we got relation up to here, no? Clear, ma? So the resultant force acting on each charge is this much. And this resultant force will act in which direction? It will act exactly through the center, no? It will act like this. This is the resultant force. Clear, ma? So these two forces produces this resultant Fr. Okay? Okay. Now can you say what are the other forces which are acting? Mg and tension. Clear, ma? So if I draw the free body diagram of this charge, then how can I draw the free body diagram of this charge? Can you say, ma? So if this is the charge, clear, ma? Tension is acting in this direction, no? So this is the direction of tension. Are you able to understand? So how much angle it is making with respect to horizontal or with respect to vertical, how much it is angle? So let this one be the center of this triangle. Clear? So this is the center of this triangle, no? So it is making how much angle? It is making an angle of theta. Okay, ma? If this is making an angle of theta, then how can I split this tension into two components? So this angle we are taking it as theta, no, ma? So this is a tension which is present. So this tension, I can split this one into two components like this. Clear, ma? So this is T cos theta and this one is T sin theta. I can calculate like this, no? Now tension we have split into two components. What are the other forces which are acting? This restoring force. So one force will be acting in this direction. Another force will be acting in this direction due to this charge and due to this charge. Are you able to understand, ma? So due to this charge, force will be acting in this direction, and due to this charge, force will be acting in this direction. So resultant force will be acting in this direction. This is the direction of resultant force. Are you able to understand? Okay. So therefore, resultant force already we have calculated, no? Root 3 into 1 by 4 pi e naught q square divided by a square. Clear, ma? And what is the one more force which is acting? One more force which is acting is weight of this mass, which is equal to mg. Clear, ma? So this is a T cos theta. Clear, ma? And this should be the force of repulsion because of the other two charges. Clear? So these are the different forces which are acting on this charged mass m. Are you able to understand? That's all, no, ma? Weight of the body mg is acting in downwards direction. Tension is making an angle of theta. Theta value still I don't know. Are you able to understand? So this tension I have split into two components, and this is the force of repulsion because of the other two charges. Okay? Okay. Now can you say, how can I balance all these forces? How can I balance all these forces? Which forces are balanced by which one? Total mass, it is in equilibrium, no? Total mass is in equilibrium. It means all the horizontal forces and vertical forces must be balanced. So which forces are balanced here? I can see here, no? T cos theta is balanced by mg. If this is theta, this is also theta. This is T cos theta, this is T sin theta. T cos theta is balanced by mg. T sin theta is balanced by resultant force. Are you able to understand now? So right here, so I can write T sin theta is balanced by resultant force, and T cos theta, it is balanced by mg. Clear? What is the tension in the string? I don't. So let us divide both of them. This is our equation number 1 and this is our equation number 2. If I divide them, T and T gets cancelled now. So I will get tan theta is equals to restoring force divided by mg. Clear, Nama? So now the question is, how can I find out tan theta? Tan theta, how can I calculate? Because theta value, I don't know. What is this theta? Theta is the angle made by the tension with respect to vertical line. So how can I calculate that theta? Clear, ma? So this vertical line, it touches this equilateral triangle at which position? Come on, ma. Clear, ma? This vertical line, it touches this equilateral triangle at which position? Can you say, anybody? Any idea, ma? This vertical line, it touches this equilateral triangle at which position? It touches at the center of the triangle. Center of the triangle is nothing but centroid of the triangle. Clear Nama? So therefore here if I draw a diagram, clear Nama? So if this is an equilateral triangle, centroid will be here. Are you able to understand? So this vertical line touches this equilateral triangle exactly at the centroid. Clear? Then can you say what is this distance? This distance is how much? Okay, ma? That distance is nothing but this distance, no? This distance. Clear? So side of the triangle is how much? Side of the triangle is A. Then already we have calculated if side of the triangle is A. Side of the triangle means this side. Side of the triangle is A only, no? Length of the string is different. Length of the string is L. But side of the triangle is A. If side of the triangle is A, then what will be this distance? This distance will be how much? This distance will be equal to A by root 3. This already we have studied in the last classes, no? Already we have studied centroid divides this line in the ratio of 2:1. Clear ma? Then after doing total calculation, this length we have calculated A divided by root 3. Clear no? Okay. So therefore what is the length of this line? Length of this line is A divided by root 3. Clear ma? Now here I have formed a right angle triangle, no? This is a right angle triangle. So in this right angle triangle, what is the length of this side? Length of this side is L. Clear? Therefore can't I calculate cos theta? Can't I calculate tan theta? Tan theta is how much? Tan theta is equals to opposite divided by adjacent. That is the formula of tan theta, no ma? So opposite side is how much? Opposite side is A by root 3. Clear ma? So A divided by root 3 divided by adjacent side is how much? This is the adjacent side, no? This is the adjacent side. This length do we have? This length we don't have. Then how can I calculate that length? But I have opposite side and hypotenuse, no? So hypotenuse square is equals to first side square plus second side square. So this value how can I calculate? It is equals to square root of L square minus A by root 3 whole square. This is how I can write, no? Are you able to understand ma? Okay. So this is the value of tan theta. Now here he also gave L is much greater than A. So L is much greater than A means what? When compared to L square, A by root 3 is very, very small. So therefore I can neglect this term. Clear nama? So therefore what is the value of tan theta I got? I got tan theta is equals to, so A by root 3 divided by L. That's all nama? So I can write it as A by root 3 into L. So this is the value of tan theta. So take this tan theta, substitute in this relation. Can't you get theta value? What I want to calculate? I want to calculate Q value. Can't I calculate Q value? That's all. That is my answer. Are you able to understand ma? Come on, make a note up to here and see if you have any doubt. I will try to clarify that one. A bit logical problem. Okay ma? All of you are able to understand ma how we are calculating? So just you should be careful about all the data which is given. That's all. Very simple. ఇట్లా వేసుకోమా, అంత దూరం ఎక్కడ కనిపిస్తుంది నీకు? నువ్వు రావేమో అని నేను ఇక్కడే తీసుకున్నా క్లాస్, లేదంటే కింద తీసుకుంటావు. క్లియర్ మా? So let this equation be equation number 4. Let equation be equation number 3. Then substituting 3 in 4. Clear? So I will get tan theta is equals to A by root 3 into L is equals to resultant force is how much? Resultant force is root 3 into 1 by 4 pi E naught Q square divided by A square into divided by mg. Clear nama? So from this value you calculate a Q value. That should be our answer. Clear? Come on. So, shall I write Q value here? So, final Q value which I will get is this one. So, 4 pi E naught A cube mg, 4 pi E naught A cube mg, okay, divided by 3L root. That is the value of Q which you should get. Okay. Okay, ma. So let us see what is the given question here. So here it is given that a thin fixed ring of radius A has a positive charge Q uniformly distributed over it. Clear, ma? So consider this is the ring. Clear, ma? An uniform ring. So charge is uniformly distributed on this ring. Okay, ma? How much charge is distributed? Q amount of charge is distributed. Clear? So a particle of mass m having a negative charge Q is placed on the axis of the ring. So this becomes the axis of the ring, no? So somewhere here a particle of mass m and it is having a negative charge of minus Q is placed on the ring at a distance of x. X means from where? From the center of this ring. This distance is x. Clear? So particle is present here. Are you able to understand, ma? Then we have to show that motion of this charged particle is simple harmonic. So this is total positive charge, ma, and this one is a negative charge. And ring is fixed here. Ring is not movable. It is held by some stand. Clear, ma? So if I release this negative charge, it will experience a force of attraction, no? So as it approaches this ring, force of attraction also will increase. Clear, ma? And when it is here, when it is at the center of the ring, then force of attraction will be maximum because the distance is minimum. No? Clear? Force of attraction depends on what? F is equals to kq square divided by r square. This is the formula of force, no? Where k is called as 1 by 4 pi e naught. So 1 by 4 pi e naught q square divided by r square, or I can write q1 q2. Clear, ma? So q into capital Q divided by r square. So force is inversely proportional to square of the distance between the charges. Clear, ma? It means if this distance continuously increases, this also experiences greater force. So at the center, this negative charge will experience maximum force. But it cannot stop at the center, no? It cannot stop at the center of the ring. What is the reason? So from here to here, continuously it is experiencing force, no? Continuously it is experiencing force. So therefore, velocity of this charge should have become maximum. Velocity should have become maximum. So therefore, at the center, it cannot stop. Because of inertia, it continues to move to the other direction. But when it starts moving to the other direction, again force of attraction is acting, no? So the charge will continuously decelerate that side. It means its velocity continuously decreases. So after some time it stops somewhere, then again it returns back. So continuously this charge will perform simple harmonic motion. Are you able to understand? So for example, this is the ring here. Charge, this is the center. Continuously charge moves in this direction. So here velocity will be maximum. Clear? But it cannot stop here. It will go to another side. And here it will stop. Again here velocity will become 0. Then it starts returning back also. This is what will happen. So definitely I can say this force is variable force and it produces simple harmonic motion in this charge. Are you able to understand? Okay. Now can you say, how can I calculate the force of attraction between this ring and this charge? How can I calculate? Force of attraction between this ring and charge, we cannot do it directly. We have to use calculus in this condition. How can I use calculus? Very simple. So I will take a very small part of charge here, which is called as dq. What is meant by dq? Differential amount of charge, very small charge. So if I take a differential amount of charge, it becomes a point charge, no? So this is not a point body, this is an extended body. But I know force of attraction if only point charges are present. Coulomb's law is applied for which kind of bodies? Coulomb's law is applied only for point charges. Are you able to understand, ma? So I will select a very small charge dq here, and here is our negative charge minus d. So force of attraction will be in which direction? Force of attraction will be in this direction. That's all, ma? So this is df. What is meant by df? Small amount of force due to small charge dq here. Then how can I write df? Can you say? Small amount of force because of a small charge dq can be written as k q1 q2 divided by r square, no? K dq into q divided by r square, where k is called as 1 by 4 pi e naught. For simply writing this one, we have written k here. K value is how much? K value is equals to 1 by 4 pi e into naught. Are you able to understand, ma? Okay. So therefore, this force is acting in which direction? This force is acting in this direction. Clear, na, ma? So this force vector, I can split this one into two components, no? This force, I can split this one into two components. So this is angle theta. So let this angle be angle theta. Then this is df cos theta, and this is df sin theta. Can I write like this? So total df, I have split this one into two components. This splitting you should understand, ma. So adjacent side will be always in terms of cos theta. Opposite side will be always in terms of sin theta. So this is a df cos theta, and this one is a df sin theta. Are you able to understand? Now can I say all df sin thetas will get cancelled? Will you agree with this one? I can say all df sin thetas will get cancelled. What is the reason? What is the reason, ma? All df sin thetas will get cancelled. What is the reason? Reason is very simple. So if you take another dq here, if you take another small dq here, then because of this dq, force of attraction will be in this direction, no? And this force also I have to split into two components, no? Clear, ma? So this is df. So what is this one? This is df cos theta, and this is df sin theta. Okay. So this df sin theta is in downwards direction, but this df sin theta is in upward direction. So this df cos sin theta and this df sin theta will get cancelled. It means all the df sin thetas because of opposite elements, they will get cancelled. But what is the direction of df cos theta? Df cos theta is in the same direction. So all df cos thetas will add up with each other. Clear, ma? So therefore, what is the total force? How can I calculate? Total force, how can I calculate? Okay, ma? Total force. What is meant by total force? Force of attraction between this ring and this negative charge. How can I calculate? That is equal to F, and F can be calculated like this. F is equals to integration of df into cos theta. Why we have taken integration of df cos theta here? Df cos theta is the net force, no? And how many df cos thetas are present? Many df cos thetas are present. Because of every element, there will be a force of df cos theta. And what does integration indicate here? Integration indicates the addition of all these df cos thetas. Integration is nothing but addition, that's all. So addition of all df cos thetas, it will give the total force F, that's all. Clear, ma? So therefore, F can be written as integration of, what is a df? Df already we have written, no? So k dq into q divided by r square multiplied by cos theta. That's all, no? I can write like this. Df value already we have written. Cos theta is the extra term we got. So if you integrate this term, I will get the total force. Okay? Okay. Now here can you say, how can I calculate cos theta? Cos theta, how can I calculate? How can I calculate cos theta? So here this is theta, no? Cos theta is what? Adjacent divided by hypotenuse. So cos theta is equals to adjacent side divided by hypotenuse. So adjacent side is nothing but x, no? Adjacent side is x. Hypotenuse is how much? Hypotenuse can I write? This radius of this ring is given as a. A only, no? Radius is given as a. So this hypotenuse will become square root of a square plus x square. That's all, no? So hypotenuse will become square root of a square plus x square. So substitute here. So therefore f is equals to integration of k dq into q divided by r square multiplied by x divided by square root of a square plus x square. Now what is this r? R is again same. R is the distance between dq and q, no? Which is again equal to square root of a square plus x square. So here r value is also square root of a square plus x square. So substitute here. So f is equals to integration of k dq into q into x divided by a square plus x square whole square into a square plus x square power 1 by 2 will be how much? So a square plus x square whole power 3 by 2 I will get. Are you able to understand me? So here this x square, x value is very less because already given x is much less than a. So I will cancel x square. So here I have a square power 3 by 2. And remaining all terms are constant except dq. So we will integrate only dq. Integration of dq, integration and differentiation, they are reciprocal terms. So I will get q. So therefore what is the result I will get? I will get f is equals to k q into x divided by a cube. This is the result which I will get. Are you able to understand, ma? And what is k value? K is called 1 by 4 pi e naught, no? So 1 by 4 pi e naught q into capital Q into x divided by a cube. This is the result which I got. Clear? What is this f value? What is this f value? This is the force of attraction between the ring and this negative charge minus q. To calculate this force, all this calculation we have done. Clear, ma? So this force, it will serve as restoring force on the body, or this force is responsible for producing simple harmonic motion in that negative charge. Clear? And what is the amount of restoring force in a spring? Already we have studied in simple harmonic motion, no? Restoring force in a spring is called as minus k into x. In SHM you should have studied this equation, no, ma? So restoring force is equals to minus k into x. It is restoring force is directly proportional to x. Here also I have term x, no? Here also I have the term x, and remaining all these, they are constants. 1 by 4 pi e naught is a constant, q is a constant, capital Q is a constant, a cube is also a constant. It means that definitely this force is equivalent to this force. It means that this force is producing restoring force which produces simple harmonic motion in the body. So that's all proved, no? So it is proved that this force is producing simple harmonic motion. So then what is k value? K value is equals to 1 by 4 pi e naught q into q divided by a cube. So what is k, ma, here? This k and this k are different. This k is 1 by 4 pi e naught. What is this k? Spring constant of the spring. This k is called spring constant of the spring. And what is the value of spring constant? Spring constant, how I can write in SHM we have studied, no? K is equals to m omega square. This is called as spring constant. Are you able to understand, ma? So therefore what is omega? Omega is equals to square root of k divided by m. And what is omega? Angular frequency, which can be written as 2 pi by capital T, is equals to square root of k divided by m. Clear, ma? So therefore T is equals to 2 pi root m by k. This is the equation for time period. So in SHM all these relations already we have studied. K is equal to m omega square. So omega is equals to root k by m. So therefore T is equals to 2 pi root m by k. K value already we have calculated, no? What is K value? QQ divided by 4 pi E naught into A cube. Substitute there. Clear? So if I substitute there, then what is the result I will get? Then I will get the result of, so T is equals to 2 pi into square root of M divided by K. K value is how much? Q into Q divided by this total denominator, it will go to the numerator. Then I can write 4 pi E naught into A cube. This is our answer. Clear, ma? So this is our equation for time period of oscillation of this negative charge. Clear? So in this time, it will complete one oscillation. That is the meaning of this. Okay? Come on, make a note up to here.